I'm gonna call this one Saturday Show and Tell. Grab a cup of something and make yourself comfy. Hey, it's Care. Welcome to my take at the lake. Lots of show and tell for you today. I keep having these visions of sitting down here and doing some lovely, easy, relaxing, beautiful craft videos. Like a craft with me or a nice tutorial. But I keep mucking things up, making a mess and bringing in new toys and making it impossible for me to do that. And I always think, well, I'll do a video and clean off my desk. It's not really a clean and craft chat. It's a show and tell, so I can put this stuff away because I feel like I have to show you what I got and what I have done lately, which isn't much. I will tell you that in the way of craft. These lovely things. What fun are these? So I got this great paper towel. I'm pretty sure it was from Dollar General, and I just love that it's plain, no print, but it's got this fabulous design on it. I was looking at, I didn't buy it for that. I bought it because it was white, not for the design, but I was looking at this roll sitting here next to me the other day and I went, oh, I wonder what would happen if I put my fun sprays to it, and look what happened when I put my fun sprays to it. Oh, they're so fun. Fun sprays. There's a whole video, I'll link it below. Simply food coloring. This one happens to be paste, food coloring, and water. I think I have 10 of them, are all just food coloring. This is gel. I've also used drops. Whatever you have, or whatever you can find, works. And I just went to spraying. So I have the peaches and the reds, and the yellows and the pinks, and the blues and the reds, or the purple. I guess that's the purple. It dries really pink. In the food coloring is a dark, absolutely deep violet. And no matter how much I use, it dries pink, which is kind of a bummer because I like violet. We can blame Maleficent for that. Anyway, purple and blue, teal and purple and blue. And these were the underneath. I put these down when I sprayed this, so there was that. And this was under for both of them. And look how wonderful they are. Here's the best part. It's 2-ply. So every piece is 2 pieces. And I am jazzed about that. And there's just something about this. That's why I'm doing it here with you. Because, it's just nice. Look how pretty. Just the teal. The whole spectrum. Oh, they're so pretty. You know, collages, masterboards, backgrounds in glue books, backgrounds in junk journal pages. Jazz up a cover. This would be really pretty. Mod Podged onto a journal cover, or a mini journal, or a notebook, or endless possibilities. And this is one of those crafts. It took about a minute and a half, maybe 2, to do it. When you feel like being creative but you don't have the brain capacity to put one foot in front of the other, get out your fun sprays and roll it toilet paper and make up just different fun color combinations. Just the hot pink and yellow for Easter. These are such fun Easter colors. Wouldn't these make great cutout egg shapes and Mod Podge over them? Collage. You can make paper decorated eggs because it's coming up fast. I was drying them all over the place. I laid it over there to dry, the orange one, and it was on the paper towel roll, so I got some extra, and I put this sheet of, it's a photo frame card that you would send at Christmas time or whatever, And I put that underneath. That was my dry sheet for the blue and purple one. And what fun that is. Nice start to a fun background. These I got out to do on the gel plate. See, as we chat, I put this stuff away. If you haven't seen Carrie Mixed Media Art's recent video, she did a whole bunch of different kind of tabs. She's doing the 100-day challenge, which many people are, and I applaud them. Holy Hannah. Of course, I'm trying to do now 2 channels and a podcast, so I'm actually doing the 100-day challenge. I'm producing something every day. I don't know if it's a video or if it's editing. It's 100 days worth of holy K-rap. Carrie's doing 100 tags for her 100-day challenge, and she was adding tabs to her tags. And she made this brilliant template for all of us, for all the different kinds of tabs. These are some of the kind of like the punches that you would get. The whale tail punch is so popular, so hard to find, thereby expensive. And you can duplicate it, but it's 16 cuts and 7 punches, and you know, it's ridiculous. But she's made it very easy for us right there. I want to add my own tab shape to the mix. These are just square. Very simple. Not square. I don't know what shape that is. It's not quite square. They're very simple. Carrie has this up on her Patreon page for free for everybody. Not just patrons, but for everybody. So go grab that. And there are different kits that are free on my Patreon page as well that have tabs in. And even if you don't want to do the 30-day reboot, just print the tab thing out and get the shape. It's not that difficult of a shape, really. I mean, you could draw that out, but it makes for a nice tab too. Very simple. You just fold it in half. Print it on cardstock, fold it in half, glue it on your page. So we're all talking about tabs lately. I showed you this before, that I had these few little pieces and parts from my favorite ink pens. And 1 or 2 doesn't really look like much. But looky here. Look at them all. These I'm keeping for using as spines to connect smaller books together. You could use it as a spine for a shorter book. You could put 2 together and have a longer spine. I learned that from Natasha at Treasure Books, using pens as spines. I thought that was brilliant, and it gave me a really good excuse to keep these. I wish I used the color ones more than I do. I kind of hoard these, but I go through these like crazy. As you can see, this so far, I think this is just since January. I just think they would make really fun book bling. Spine dangles. These remind me of beads. These silver or these colored ones, and the silver bits. These are the retractable parts. And I don't know, the little springs are awful steampunky, awful industrial and Tim Holtzy, grungy machinery. You know, one is not much, but quite a few are pretty cool. They end up looking pretty awesome. As this fills up, I'll probably show you it again someday when this is all nice and full. I just did a short on this, but while the stuff is still here, I want to share it with you in case you missed the short, because I don't know if they show everybody the shorts, or if only people who watch shorts see shorts, or not quite sure how they work. So if this is a repeat, please skip ahead. I've been experimenting with Mod Podge, and I had to make a fresh batch because I was all 100% out. That's my neighbor's big dog. Big old Great Pyrenees. Beautiful beastly. And a husky, sort of husky chow mix or something. Nice big fuzzy wuzzy beastlies. I haven't heard them all day. Of course, I haven't been paying attention. Maybe they've been out there all the time. I don't know. Anyway, back to Mod Podge. I did some with thrifted glue, and it worked out really well. What I liked most about that experiment was that it had no sheen. I've been tweaking it ever since, and I think I've come up with the the perfect homemade Mod Podge. Why make homemade Mod Podge? Why not just buy it? Well, it's kind of pricey. It's not too awful expensive, especially if you find a good deal on Amazon and you get it in the nice big jug. But if I'm doing a giant masterboard and I'm just slapping the stuff down using it as a glue, it's much cheaper to do it that way. And usually after you make a masterboard, you tend to go over it with other things, with the good glues, and that sort of reinforces it. And so using the cheaper Mod Podge is, I think, beneficial. So making homemade Mod Podge, unlike making homemade gel plates, which is a whole nother topic, I'll link that video below because I don't think that's worth your time or your effort. Watch the video. If you're interested in making a gel plate, watch that first. But what I did was 2.5, only because it fits in my jar. It's not actual measurements. It's just what fit in here. 2.5 of this size of Elmer's glue. I get this on the back to school, after the back to school sales are done. These go on sale for like $0.25, right? So I stock up because I make a lot of this. So just for this container, 2.5 of these. And once I pour all the glue in, you know, there's a whole bunch of glue left in the bottle. I put just a little bit of very hot water in here and shake the shite out of it and put that in there because the water helps make it Mod Podge. Thins it down enough so that you can do masterboards and collage work pretty readily. And because that Elmer's glue is kid stuff, I've said this before, I'll say it again, it's washable, it's no run, it's safe for kids to eat because kids eat glue. This is kid stuff. It means it doesn't have a whole lot of sticking power. So what I do to get more stick power is I add some tacky glue or Scotch Create tacky glue. This happens to be turbo tacky. Whatever tacky glue I have, I add in a little bit, and by a little bit I mean maybe that much of that, maybe that much of this, not a lot, just to add some additional adhesive power. And here's the kicker, I think, because none of those PVA glues, they're wet white glues, none of them have a sealer in. Mod Podge is a water-based sealer, glue and finish. And I use matte. I do have the glossy just in case I need it, but I always use the matte for the most part. But the matte has a sheen to it. See that sheen? The homemade stuff, no sheen. None whatsoever. So I think the sheen is the sealer. That's what you're seeing. So adding just a little bit of store-bought Mod Podge to your homemade Mod Podge, I think makes it a little bit closer to the real stuff. And I think a little bit better because you don't always want that shiny, especially if you're working on something that's really vintage. Vintage isn't shiny, plasticky, new age, newfangled. It's rough and dull. Here's a vintage one. This is with the homemade Mod Podge. Again, there's no sheen. Although I did get some Mod Podge on here. I don't know, there, you can see it right here. See that shiny? When I glued this, I got some glue on it. So you can see here there's some shine versus no shine whatsoever with the homemade stuff. So I love this. I will just quick type that up in the description below in case you missed it. I will even make a little graphic and throw it up here so you can take a screenshot if you would like. But it's worked very well for me and I wanted to pass that along to you because that's what I do, right? So funny story, went to the post office a couple days ago to mail out some Happy Mail and I wanted to copy this idea from my cousin's wedding invite and put just a whole bunch of pretty stamps on there instead of that printout that says $6.50 pink plain. I wanted it to be cool, so I went to the post office and I told the girl I want a whole bunch of stamps on it, not the printout. And I swear to you, she looked at me like I had two heads. You want to put stamps on this? Yes I do. Pretty ones, all different different denominations, like a couple dollars here and a couple 50 cents, and until it adds up to the $6.50 or whatever it's going to be. We don't have any stamps, is what she told me. We don't have any stamps. I'm at the post office. Where am I supposed to get stamps? We don't have any that are other than the regular ones. We have flag ones, which are what, 60 cents, 63 cents. So we could put 10 of those on there. But what would be you're missing the point. Now, I don't live in the northern reaches of Alaska. I live in a fairly decent sized little town, city. Our post office has no stamps. So, no fun postage for my Happy Mail. For those of you with cinch, these kind of things, if you have these kind of things, I don't. I got this for Christmas, but I was thinking of you fine people who have cinch machines. There's another one. There's a different brand name out that does these spiral, cuts the holes and places the spiral in. But I got this for Christmas. I think it's adorable. It just sits on your desk. It's just a little desk sitter. But what I thought was cool is that it's 3 notebooks all in one. I thought, wouldn't that be a fun... Cage Fish does her... And I think Nicole at Relax Cut Glue has also done glue books where they're I don't know if they call them tiered. I'm blanking on what they call them, but so that you can flip through it, and it, depending on how they land, you see a different collection every time. And I just thought that was pretty cool for those of you who have that little machine to do 3 separate things instead of just a normal straight up journal. I thought that was pretty fun. Bloom where you are planted. Yes, indeed. I just found this. I got it for Christmas, and I've been purging and organizing, and I just found it. So I went to St. Vinny's. I wasn't gonna, but I have cousin's wedding coming up, and I'm making her a book, and so I'm looking for specific things for that book. So I am looking high and low, and that includes St. Vinny's. I got some books. 150 Ways to Play Solitaire. Look how cute these are, just to cut them out. Even though they're on the book cover, I could peel that off and it would become a piece of paper. Just peel that. This is a nice old book, 1950. So the pages are nice and aged. Look. I have a couple things that I'm using playing cards for. I have a couple little playing card journals that I started gathering stuff for, but they're so tiny. I thought they'd make great pieces for collage. They're in different patterns. I just thought it was really cool. Something different, which I'm all about. Look at emojis in the 1950s. How cool is that? So ahead of their time. And some fun phrases. Royal Rendezvous, different kinds of games, 150 ways to play. Just fun, different stuff. Not a big Tim McGraw fan, but I loved the title, Live Like You Were Dying. I don't know if this is urban legend, but I remember hearing a story years and years ago about a man who had some kind of corporate job. He sold insurance or some kind of to make a living and support his family and to do his thing. It was a high-stress job, worked a lot of hours, took its toll on his health, and look how pretty, he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. They didn't give him a timeline, but it wasn't long. It wasn't going to be like 20 years. He was going to die, but they didn't know when. So he quit his job and decided to spend his remaining days with his family, and he'd always wanted to be a writer and to write books. And so as his health would allow, he started writing his books. And what he was writing were things for his children. And in his spare time, he started a novel. And he just spent his days with his family and doing what he'd always wanted to do. Guess what happened? His cancer went into remission. And now he's a novelist. Now he writes books for a living, and he had a long and prosperous life. Fighting what's inside you will kill you. Ignoring your heart's desire will kill you. somehow, some way. Heart attack, obesity, diabetes, the stress, anxiety, all of that is tied to not being true to who you are. Now, I'm not saying just everybody go quit their job. If you love your job, well, then good for you. If you loathe your job, find something better. My dad has a great saying, although he only had 2 or 3 jobs in his whole life. I was looking for a job when I found this one. There's more jobs out there. If you're hating it, move on, because life's too short. So I really loved this title, Live Like You Were Dying. Steve Jobs has a fabulous quote about, you knew tomorrow was it. If today was your last day, how would you spend it? Schlepping away for somebody else to get rich, or doing something that you absolutely hate, or with your family, doing something you love. So the title grabbed me, but when I started flipping through, look at all these wonderful pictures. Inchies, maybe twinchies, maybe 2.5 inches. You can cut them down. Water. Live like you're dying. Some fun pictures. I just really, really liked, it's got some grunge and more fun stuff to play with. You can't control the length of your life, just the depth. Beautiful. Love, love, love it. All about dog shows. It looked kind of funny, the guide to dog shows and to understand how to understand and enjoy them. I just did a quick flip through of this and just loved the illustrations because they're quite funny. Some are just pretty, just nice illustrations, but there's some funny looking cartoons, right? We look like our pets, or our pets look like us, or something like that. Oh, where's the funny? Oh, look, a little Boston! Yay! Bostons are represented. Oh, 4 Bostons. 1, 2, 3, 4 Bostons. I didn't even see that. Oh, I did see a little chick with a Great Dane. Giant Great Dane. And then there was a great big person and a little teeny dog. And then there was stacking her dog. That's what I saw, and I thought, well, that's going to be funny. This is a book with a sense of humor. I'm going to take it home and read about dog shows and then cut it up for my dog books because there's Bostons and Bassets. Uh-oh. Please return when you are finished. They did not do that. What my dog has taught me about life. Meditations for dog lovers. Look at the shiny bones. That cover is so cool. Look at it. Stories to warm the heart. Hearts of dog lovers. Lovers, multiple hearts. It's beautiful. Can an old dog learn new tricks? There's all kinds of pictures and little snippets, and there was Boston's. So that'll go with my dog book collection. So pretty. Oh guys. Oh, last year sometime I watched Nicole at Relax Cut Glue work on one of her Halloween books. I watched an old video. I don't think it was last year that she made it. I think I just watched it last Halloween. And I'm not big into googly eyes. I'm just not the cutesy, funny kind of 12-year-old humor kind of person. But in a Halloween glue book, these were so cute. And so I grabbed this for 59 cents. I saw some at Joann. It was twice as many, but they were about $4. So I think that's a really good deal. I grabbed these up because I broke my needle threader like this. I broke mine the other day. Oh, go figure. And these look like really old heavy-duty pins. A nice old thimble. And if I get stuff like that in bags from St. Vinny's, I just keep it. I don't use it. I just collect it because I know they're kind of old, and this one's got dings in it. It's clearly well loved. Super cool little snaps made in England. So I used the stamps for page edging to add some interest to corners, and then use the old sewing notion as tuck-in. Look how, they're just beautiful. Some black sequins. Brand new, it looks like, never used. Was $9. 60 cents. You never know when black sequins will come in handy. Then I got some stuff for the wedding project. These are rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree, but they were at St. Vinny's. So they were $1.25 at one time, or $1. And I got them for 80 cents. And heart, humor, smile, gather, memories, trust, dream, explore. I'm going to use one on their pages, but then stick one that they can use wherever they want. Their colors are dark forest green and dark burgundy, mulberry wine, blackberry wine, dark. So I got this. I'm not sure this is going to be dark enough, but I can always coffee dye it, darken it up that way. It looks pretty dark on camera, but I might want it a little bit darker. I don't know. I got some material at Joann to go with for this project as well. Some dark green and some blackberry wine sparkly tulle. Isn't that cool? I love that sparkly tulle. And they had Tim Holtz stuff, 40% off or 30% off. I'm not sure. It was marked down. I do know that. And it has the burgundy and different greens, kind of greenish browns, which I'm going to put in their book. And I do have a couple blue pages, so this whole thing can be used for that project. Nice heavy cardstock plus these goodies. So I'm just collecting bits and pieces. I got this lace for the wedding book too. It's not a wedding book, it's their wedding gift in the colors of their wedding. I will dye that up. I got some white tulle at Joann Fabric. It is pretty, glisteny. It's nice and shiny. It's bright white, but I hit it with coffee and then rinsed it out because her dress is not white. It's champagne, so it's just a little bit off-white, and then impregnated it with some opalescent glitter because her dress, her train anyway, is very, very sparkly. And it's so subtle, but I think I told Leanne, I think once the light hits that train, it's going to look like it's battery operated. It's just going to sparkle. So I wanted to incorporate that as close as I could in their book as well. Some more happy accidents. Some things, the best stuff sometimes you just can't even attempt to do. I think these are the most awesome colors. I don't even know what I was doing, to be honest. I can't even remember. But the colors are just magical to me. Coffee dyed, miscellaneous paint. This one kind of looks like a crime scene to me. It looks, I know what I was doing here. I was grunging up a white spiral in that, in this, had a white, pristine white spiral. And so I took my homemade alcohol inks and I just sprayed every color to get this grungy, dirty, old looking look. And it was here. And so every color went here, and that's why it looks like that. But I just think that is cool stuff. I got my mom purging and getting rid of stuff too, and she had this cute little outfit she wore in the summertime, or she got it for their trip to Mexico several years back, and it's just as cute as it can be. It's navy blue and it's got piano on it and all these little musicians in these crazy buttons. I sort of can. I'll have to paint them because they're pearl. They're off-white pearly color, so I have to spray them. But I've been working on a collecting stuff for a music journal, and wouldn't that just be a fun cover, the piano keys? So I'm saving it now. I was gonna get rid of it, but I thought it's a great cover for a music journal, so I'll keep it. I'll cut the buttons off and maybe use that as spine jewelry or something. I don't know. My mom brought me something for St. Patty's Day a while back from the Dollar Tree. It's just an outside hanger thing, but I thought, wouldn't that be a cool thing for the jelly plate print? Or wouldn't it, I could stencil through it. It's a beautiful pattern. Got my K on there. If I have a 12 by 12 paper, I could do the whole clover. So that's pretty cool. It just hangs in here and reminds me of Happy St. Patty's Day from my mom. My mom also brought me this miscellaneous pack of stamps. She said, "You were so excited about Saray's wedding invite with all those stamps on it." She said, "I've been hanging on to these. I never use them, so you might as well have them." So I just put them on my desk, and I didn't think about it, because all I saw really were these, you know, just regular. I just thought they were forever stamps, like normal stamps. Well, if you look, they're 33-cent stamps, so this has been a while that these have been around. And they're pretty. They're all different kinds of apples. Forever stamps. These are 39. So I think we're at 63 now, aren't we? So this has been a little while. 28-cent polar bears. All of these are perfectly good stamps. You could use them. Houdini. I have a cool stamp collection. I've got the Disney villains when they came out. I've got dog stamps and car stamps when they had the muscle cars. I can't even remember the rest of them, but when they came out, I bought the books. And so he'll probably go in there. But here's the best one. This is from my grandma from way back. 25-cent stamps. Letters, 5 cents. Airmail, 8 cents. Postcards for 4. Vellum that they're stuck on or stuck in between. Christmas, 1963. Thank you, Grandma. Add zip to your mail. Always use the zip code because they were new at one point. Some 10 centers. I don't know. What does that say on that side? I don't know. I'll have to get the old magnifying glass out and see. I thought with these lights I could see everything. I can't. Another 5 cent. 6th International Philatelic Exhibition. It must be a postal thing. Washington, D.C. More of those 10-cent stamps. Quite a few more of those 10-cent stamps. Anyway, these have been in my grandma's desk 50 years. Nope. 60 some years, because that one stamp in here is from 63. Holy smokes, them's old stamps. I suppose I could have used some of these on my, it'll take in a lot of these to get me up to my $6 or whatever it was. I have stamps. The post office doesn't have stamps. I have stamps. Thanks, Mom. This is not really a St. Vinny's anything. But the other day, I had this vision in my head. I wasn't watching YouTube videos. I hadn't watched any in a few days because, you know, sometimes I just turn everything off once in a while and I just veg. And I wanted to do something, but I didn't have a lot of energy. And so I thought, you know, we see snippet rolls on like receipt rolls, till rolls, or snippet rolls of fabric. And I've seen, you know, we do master boards, big flat things that we cut up. And I thought, how cool would it be to have a collage catalog? And so I took out it was an old woman's day after I had harvested all that I wanted out of it. And I started collaging on it, just using bits and scraps. And that's where I used up all my homemade Mod Podge. And I was so excited. I thought, this is going to be so cool. I can just cut out what I need. I can use the whole thing. It can be a cover. It can be a long, tall cover. It can be tags. It can be all kinds of things. I did just a black and white one. Then you can stamp on it and doodle on it and then cut it out for tags or bookmarks or tuck-ins or corner tucks or belly bands or whatever you want. And I just kept going because I was so jazzed. I did it. I think these are from Donna. I think these are her jelly prints. No, they might be my jelly prints. Some black and white drawer liner that I got at a St. Vinny's haul not too long ago. Anyway, and a bright one from that bright thing that I did the other day. I had so much fun. I couldn't wait to show you. I got up the next morning and turned on YouTube, and lo and behold, there's Artie Mays with exactly this. Now, I'd never seen it anywhere, ever. And I thought, I'm going to do this. This is a great idea. It's all original. I was going to record it that morning and put it out. And then there it was. I just find that fascinating. That's what makes me think that ideas, just like fire and electricity, every idea has always been here. Free for the taking. Whoever wants to get it first. That's why, how many times have you had a really good idea and you sit on it, you don't do anything, someone else has it eventually. It's not just your idea. So I think that like there's this field of ideas out in the ether. This is kind of like spacey out there, but all religions say everything that has always been, always shall be, always will be. Nothing ever is gone. It's just changed. And I think that ideas are part of that. Like they're all out there just swirling around, and we grab them as they strike our fancy. And sometimes they strike our fancy at the same time. Sometimes it's just the idea's time. Someone has to do it right now, apparently, according to the universe. Bizarro. But I do love this. I love how it turned out. I love the feel of it. I love that it's something I can go to because I have my lake book project. I've got that bright journal going on. I can cut up this to add to that. Black and white goes with anything. This vintage stuff goes with anything. And I've got several more pages I can do for those days that I don't feel like doing anything but want to do something. So here's to you, Artie. Great minds think alike. Artie Mays. Go check it out. More stuff that I bought from a polka dot project. I just love polka dots. Bright polka dot. Oh, because silver glitter tissue. Oh, I can't get enough of that. These are at St. Vinny's. I was so excited. I should have recognized that they were Dollar Tree ones. And I hit them with bleach. I didn't think I had my coat off, and I was getting the bleach out of the bathroom to spray on here to see if they would turn. And they didn't budge. Because some of the ones that you buy, but not the Dollar Tree ones, but some, when you hit them with bleach, all the color disappears, and then you can do whatever you want with them, and they are so cool. I'm sorry I don't remember whose video that was. Who did that? They took tickets, hit them with bleach, and then spattered them up and painted them and vintaged them up. They turned out amazing. I don't know who offhand who that is, though. Found another book to take apart and make collage glue book out of it. I will not tear this apart now. When I do it, I will do it on camera so that you can see it. Oh, I thought I had more. There's another one. Moo moo brown cow. So these are more. And the reason I bought these, in case you missed it, is to peel them naked. These are board books, children's board books. And you peel them off and then glue your own stuff in. And it's just such a beautiful, soft, velvety canvas, and the pages are nice and thick and textured, and they just make terrific glue books or collage books or art journals. You'd have to adjust to them because, holy smokes, they're like sponges. If you're going to paint in them, you'd have to seal them for sure. You'd spend $6,000 on paint. This isn't very old, I don't think, because I remember these. Of course, the staples, it was before they started gluing them all, so the staples are nice and old. So maybe it is older than I think. The reason I got it is because it's so aged. That's naturally aged. I like the numbers on it. They're carbonless, I do believe. Oh, no, there's the carbon. Well, no, they're not carbonless, because here's where the carbon used to live. See, so maybe it is older than I think it is. Very fun. That's why I got that. 60 cents. And I got this book, Lessons My Dogs Taught Me About Life. Stay. And it's about a dog who is diagnosed with cancer. And Dave decided to take whatever time he had left with Hannah to cherish the moments and capture his thoughts in a journal as he wrote about his canine friend. Now, normally I wouldn't buy this because I don't think I could read it. Obviously, it doesn't end well. She has cancer, so she's probably not. I don't know. I'm such a chicken-hearted person. I don't know if I could read it, but something made me buy this. Even though if I don't read it, I still have it. I want to ask a question. So I got that big thing of gold leafing, copper, silver, and gold leafing, and I've never really used it before. And I took it out of its package, and I was reading the directions. Apply water-based glue. After the glue dries, use the gold leaf. Well, I tried that, and that's crap. Use a wool brush to remove excess gold leaf, which I did do when I used it on wet glue, not soaking wet, but not dry either. But the last thing is, brush protective oil on the surface of the gold leaf. Any idea what kind of oil? Anybody? Does anybody do that? Does anybody oil their gold leaf at the end? And do you use it on dry glue? I'd love to know. Leave me some comments in the comments below. Do you know what kind of protective oil they're talking about? I'd love to know, because they don't tell you. Last couple of things, I always save the very, very best for last. Meg Journals has a new series out. She's doing an altered book, which is not new, but she's doing a tiny little book. I think this is even a little bit bigger than what she has. A lot of people do Reader's Digest, and they're kind of small. I like doing... Oh, what happened here? Oh, look at something spilled. What the dog saw. Anyway, I like doing this size for my altered books, and so it's quite a bit smaller. And hers is a little tiny vintage botanical guide, I believe, or wildflower guide or something. And so it has gorgeous illustrations throughout, and those are the backdrop for whatever she's collaging. And I've been looking and looking for little books. I looked on eBay. So I got this one just to have one to play with. And this one spoke to me. Very, very old. I forgot what year it is because I can't find it in here. Even though it's coming apart, and it's probably not the best choice for an altered book, in that adding a whole bunch, the spine's not going to hold up. But since someone scribbled in crayon all through it, I'm going to cover that anyway. And if I fabric over that to some of these pages, if I reinforce this and then cover that up, that'll strengthen that up. And if I do the same here, because they scribbled in it, and some of the pages are already coming out, that will strengthen that up. And I'll just have to be careful with it. But I just thought, it just spoke to me. I just really liked that cover, and so I went with it. So I'm going to join in Meg's series eventually and do a small altered book, because it's, of course, hers. I love her work. I'm so excited about this. It's about damn time, really. I finally got myself a scoreboard. The We Are Memory Keepers 12 by 12. And I didn't know this until I got home and it fell out of the car at my feet, that it is a trim end score. I've been using this, and I didn't think it was a 12 by 12, but it is. This will do a 12 by 12 sheet. And I love this. I've had this forever, since way back in my scrapbooking days. I really, really like it. And I have used it to score some things. But a scoreboard with the measurements would just make things so much easier, especially doing things like Camellia Crafts Design. She does a lot with 12 by 12 papers. She scores it and cuts it and makes a million things out of one sheet of paper, which she uses a scoreboard a lot. And I didn't really, the reason I don't have one, because I don't want to pay $40 or $30 for it. And our Joann's has all their We Are Memory Keepers. First of all, I couldn't find it. And then I found a couple little bits on this weird shelf in the middle of nowhere with clearance prices. And so I asked the lady, are you getting rid of, you're not carrying this anymore? And she said, yeah, most of it. It's all in a cart in the back room. I'm marking it all down for tomorrow. And I said, do you have any scoreboards? And she said, I don't know. And she, God love her, she went and she got the whole cart and pulled it out for me. And we went through it. And sure enough, there was a couple scoreboards in there. $27.99. I said, you got any 50% off coupons laying around back there? She didn't have a 50, but she had a 40. And so I got this $28 thing for $16. I checked on Amazon and it's $32. So And most of the stuff I buy from Amazon, so technically I got it half price. And it will save me oodles of time, and I can do, I think, more projects with it. So I'm thrilled to finally have it. I love that it folds in half for easy storage, but I can work on a 12 by 12 piece of paper if I am in that situation. I know this was a long, chatty one, but it's Saturday, and who wants to do the housework and the laundry and whatnot? Thank you for spending some time with us and checking out all my new toys. Now I can put the stuff away in good conscience, get on to other things. Enjoy your weekend. If it's not the weekend when you're watching this, enjoy your day, enjoy your evening. Go love up your Beasleys. Mate at the lake. Out for now.